Previously on Ideanthro, we talked a lot about trees in bioretention. We ended it at 6 episodes. Today, it's episode 7. We can't help ourselves. More trees, more bioretention. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ideanthro, and welcome back to episode 7 in our not-so-mini series looking at trees in bioretention systems. On the previous episode, Ben and I discussed succession in bioretention systems with trees, and we showed you an example where some tuckaroos were coming into the Hoyland Street bioretention system, and we believe that they're going to be kind of the next evolution of that system. So that system was planted with melaleucas and lomandras. Some acacias came in. It was really resilient to weeds. The acacias died. More weeds got in. That's about the 15-year-old mark, and now we've got these tuckaroos suddenly springing up, and we think they're going to fill in the canopy. Anyway, we finished filming that episode, put the gear away, and then we had an idea for something to continue along that line. But pressed for time, we couldn't film it then, so I'm back now. What we realised was that succession that was happening with the tuckaroos was happening because they had been planted adjacent to the park, just around the corner, and for whatever reason, the seed from them, whether it was, dropped by birds or came in on the stormwater, for whatever reason, those seeds had made it into the bioretention system and germinated. And we sat there and went, if we're interested in getting more diversity into these systems and giving this stuff a chance, the limiting factor here, as far as I see it, for a bioretention system which often has like an engineered or like manufactured filter media, is actually getting the seeds there in the first place. Because if you had a forest and you go and cut down a forest, there is already a seed bank sitting in the soil. I'm not condoning cutting down a forest, I'm just saying there's already a seed bank sitting in the soil. So the pioneers will pop up really quickly, and then as the conditions become appropriate, the various other species will pop up afterwards. The problem with the bioretention system though is, how do the seeds get there? If you're lucky, like with this tuckaroo, it'll come in on the stormwater or with the birds. But that seems a little bit hit and miss to me. But then at Hoyland Street, we looked just across the street, and there is a natural, I assume it's natural, but it could be regrowth or, but there is a natural casuarina forest over there. We're like, you know what we could do? Those casuarina, like that environment they're looking in, that's pretty similar to this bioretention system. And we've seen casuarinas do well in bioretention systems before. We were like, okay, if we were managing this system and we wanted to give more succession, more evolution of this system, more diversity, a chance in it, and by chance we mean put some seeds in there and see if they grow, we're like, what we'd do is we would walk across to that forest, we would take a scraping, not even a massive one, but a scraping, like not a huge volume, but a scraping of the top kind of 100 mils of soil out of a particular part of that forest, make sure we get some of the soil, but also some of the leaf litter on top. We'd bring it back to the bioretention system and scatter it around in order to seed those seeds into the system and improve our chances of succession occurring when it is appropriate to occur. And so we wanted to leave that idea with you. Where could you put that into practice? Where have you seen a bioretention system installed next to, for example, some either regrowth or remnant bushland? I can think of some that are not far from where I am right now, in fact. What could we be doing just to get a few more seeds in there, get a little bit more potential for diversity, and if those conditions are right, those seeds will germinate. And if they germinate because the conditions were right, they will do really well. Like when you put tube stock in a bioretention system, and sometimes they'll grow, but they just don't seem super happy because that seed never germinated in that condition, right? It germinated in an ideal condition that someone manufactured for it at a nursery. And then we stick it in some condition that might not be ideal for it and essentially will it to grow. But if you seed into these systems and the conditions are good enough for that seed to germinate, then odds on the conditions are good enough for that plant to do really, really well. And that is it. That's the idea. Some further thoughts about succession and how we can help to give it a fighting chance to occur. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.